not trying to run Raiden's item consulting firm. I mean, I would like to open it. It would be pretty sweet. I just don't have the means, you know?
Hmm.
Oh, found some plans. Woohoo.
Maybe they'll be useful when they buff blacksmithing.
Probably not.
Maybe they'll be useful to give me an achievement to learn more stuff on the blacksmith.
As long as you
like,
get your achievement points, man.
I feel like
that's
that's
all I
the
care
only
about.
thing that they're being used for right now. I've found like 7 or 8, and I feel like that's their only contribution to my gaming experience right now. Is that
Oh, we got some rares up here, or
we?
elites. Yeah. This one just like turned a corner. I didn't even see it.
Oh.
But yeah, the reason this place is so rough, especially when I mean, if you're having a hard time in here, obviously you can see there is not much room to kite in here. And sometimes you'll just get super unlucky, and the elites will be like right outside the place you come into. Oh my god. Staying desecrated, apparently. I didn't even see it.
Yep. What's nice about these mobs for you tank type people is when they're doing this thing, when they're doing this channeling thing, they will continue to do that forever if there's somebody in the lightning. So if you can take the damage, you can just sit here and you'll see that guy right there that I'm still in the lightning for does not move. He just sits there and channels, and Raiden can do whatever he wants to him. So for these mobs, the caster versions of like the Naga type mobs in particular, that's a very nice thing. If you can, I mean, if you can live, don't kill yourself standing in it. But that's just kind of one of the things we found out about the mob type.
Yeah, definitely makes my job easy.
Yeah. For those of you that don't have them turned on, I don't know actually as a DPS how useful it is, but as a tank, definitely turning on like health bars, you're gonna die.
Damn it.
Yeah. Turning on health bars and enemy health bars helps a lot, especially against illusion mobs. If you have health bars up, you can see, based on the health, what the real mob is. And same with like party health bars. For those of you that don't like to look up in that top corner and just kind of like to keep your eyes focused on the center of the screen, you can you can have little health bars over your friends' heads. As monks with heals and stuff like that, it's not always a bad idea. We're probably not going to do all of this because it's going to take another like 15, 20 minutes to clear all this out, and you guys probably don't want to see us just kill more mobs.
Yeah, we might just go to Magdala now, right? There's usually 2 elite spawns in there.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, for those of you that, I mean, if you come in here and you try it out, and you can get some kills, and like if you feel comfortable going in here, it's a nice place to get extra gear per run, so you don't have to keep making new games. But like he said, it can get pretty rough in here if you're under-leveled, and you can have some very unlucky groups and some very unfortunate situations to fight them in if you're not careful.
Yep.
It's
happened to us.
The waypoint. Yeah. One of the ones we came into was like a vulnerable minion mortar mobs, like right at the start of the thing, and we just walked out and left and didn't back. It was like, nope.
Yep. Done with that.
That's another thing. Like, people talk all the time about like, oh, well, you kill bosses in the game, but like, can you kill the elite packs? And I think what people don't necessarily respect, or like, maybe, I don't know, maybe some people just think it's like cheesing. But if you see an elite pack that's going to take you forever to kill, or maybe impossible for you to kill, or maybe, you know, you just don't feel like, you're like, well, there's a mortar mob, and if I go to this other desert, I can find a non-mortar mob, so I want to do that. There's no shame. At least from my standpoint, if you see a like invulnerable minions and you think you can kill them, but you're like, well, it's going to take me an extra like 40 minutes to do that, and it's, you know, they're annoying, then just skip them. Go to something else. The idea here is to get gear. I mean, unless you're trying to prove something to someone, you don't really want to waste a bunch of time, you know, farming or killing mobs that necessarily don't need to be killed. So. Yeah. Past your stacks, it's pretty much up to you. Holy crap, I died.
Time is money, friend.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But,
oh my gosh.
Oh, I hate those guys.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. So pro tip, even if you have a ton of resistances, you can't stand to desecrate ever. Ever.
It'll never happen.
No, it's like, it's never a good idea.
As I stand and desecrate.
Yep. But same thing as with the blue mobs. If you find these yellow ones, it's obviously a lot easier to take out maybe some of the minions first, and then come back for the yellow guy. So kill the minions, run back to town really fast, reset, and then kill the yellow guy by himself. because you'll find that the yellow guy by himself is a joke, whereas, you know, the yellow guy with 4 or 5 minions with Lord only knows what affixes can be quite the hassle. So we usually try to focus down the minions, and I mean, it's not too hard to do since they always have the least health. But then if we find, I think the enrage timer is about 5 minutes on these kind of mobs. So if it takes us, you know, 3 or 4 minutes to kill all the minions, we just reset it. In this case, we're fast enough that we killed him pretty quick, and we feel like we can just kill this guy, so we're just going to kill this guy. But that helps a lot sometimes to just go back and reset things and fight less mobs. And it never hurts, and it makes getting gear a lot easier.
Yes, it does. I hit one of those nasty lag spikes. I'm hoping the my latency stays up for the rest of this video, because I don't think anyone wants to watch a video of me just lagging in place for the rest of it.
And this is what Diablo 3 looks like on DutyNet.
Yeah. This is what it looks like when your cable company sucks.
When your screen looks like this, you just stop farming altogether.
Oh, and one thing I will add in this video, because it seemed to make some people upset from the last video, I will, at the end of the video, I'll go through all the yellows that I got from this run, and I will show you what they are, because last video I didn't do that, and some people were not too pleased. Ooh. I don't know why I didn't do that last video. I don't know. Just didn't think of it, I guess.
So again, this video is more, we talked a little bit about our strategies and stuff like that in this video. Mainly this was for the run and like where to find the elites and what to do, and then where to go after you kill the elites. But in this next video for Act 3, once we make it here in a couple days, we're going to go much more, I assume, in depth into how we kill elites, because even if we pretended like these were really hard, you wouldn't get the full effect. I mean, we'd still be like, if we make a mistake, we're not going to die in this, versus if you make a mistake in Act 3 or Act 4 or anything you're not necessarily over geared for, you're going to notice it. So once we get to that video, you're going to see a lot more of us talking about like the affixes and what to do with the affixes and where we're taking them and how we're kiting them and all that stuff in the next video. This one is, again, just to give people an idea of where we got our gear from and how we got our gear from this act.
Sorry, I just had to sell real quick. I had full bags.
Yep.
Coming back.
So much loot in this run, you can't even fit it in your bags.
It's the magic find, man.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's just the run in general is pretty. I mean, you just find.
This run is so good. I was talking to a guy and he said he was doing what's the boss after this? The one that threw the fireballs at us and stuff.
Cool or whatever.
Yeah, someone said they were farming him, and I feel like that's just not worth it.
We had in our experience, Cool was a pain because
it was painful.
One fireball kills you, and I mean, you always, especially as the range class, you can't necessarily see where the fireballs are coming from. Kind of like the Diablo video, if you watch it from his point of view, like you don't always know where the skills are coming from. So unless your melee class can basically just call out every single fireball and every single like thing that's coming at you, Cool seems like a way harder boss. You'll see here in a second that this boss is very easy. The way we do it, I'm not sure there's too many ways to do it, but
yeah.
In our experience, this was the first boss we were able to kill really easily, and the first set of elites we were able to kill. So this is where we ended up farming. If you're in there and you think you can kill Cool or whatever way easier, and you find a better spot in your opinion, then take it. This is just us, offering what we did. It's not necessarily the only farming spot or the best farming spot ever, but it's what we use, and it definitely works, guaranteed.
No, it totally is the best. I think it's the best.
Well, yeah, and in my opinion, it is the best. Whatever, people have their, there's some people that are like, well, I just want to farm.
There's going to be one dude like, no, let me tell you why that is wrong. And I'll be like, oh my god.
And it seems that they're, 50%
Cool
chance.
has a 50% drop rate on X item. Oh my god, what is this?
They all got angry, dude. They're all angry.
Oh, this guy doesn't like me either. Hate the Demon Hunter Day, apparently.
Yeah, that is kind of the bad part about these type of mobs, and you'll see in Act 4 the other kind of mobs. Mobs with charge are the one kind of thing that tanking is not necessarily the best are the easiest option because they will charge just whoever the heck they want randomly. Those oppressor guys in Act 4 are the same. So, I mean, I say tank, but I don't necessarily mean tank like in the WoW sense or in any other MMO sense. I basically mean attract the mobs onto you and take damage. Obviously, as a monk, you have no taunt or anything like that, but mobs tend to hit whatever they're closest to. So if you're the closest target, they're going to come at you.
Fun fact with these bugs, your smoke screen acts like a cloak of shadows, and if you haven't played WoW, you don't know what cloak of shadows is. Basically, you see these bugs flying around that they'll probably one-shot you at this point. If you're actually farming this for gear, and this is around your gear level, these bugs right here on my screen, those things will one-shot you. So if you're using smoke screen and you see the bugs coming at you, you don't even have to move. Just pop smoke screen, they'll go right through you.
Yep. Same thing with the melee. For me, they're not much. And even when we were farming this, I could withstand the bugs, and it's kind of up to you to decide whether or not you want to stay here or not. What I am doing for these elites is if you fight these guys before, they do a wind-up attack where they swing the hammer over their head and bring it down. And that is the only thing in my experience that will really damage a tanky melee character. So what I do is when they come out, I run up to them, I pop whatever abilities I have, invulnerability or whatever. As soon as I see the first one bring the hammer thing, I guess you could call it, and then I run away from the further one. So like you'll see on the screen that some of these guys get the orange hammer in their hands, and as soon as you see that orange hammer, you just walk away like that, and they'll miss, and your demon hunter can kill them, and you can go back after they slam their hammer into the ground like a big idiot.
Yep.
You can also run, if you want to make it a little easier, if you're having trouble necessarily getting these down fast, you can run runes like Cyclone Strike that pull all the mobs in. And you can kind of like pull them in, Serenity, and then walk away and hope the Demon Hunter can just destroy them. If you're having problems with that type of stuff, there's obviously do it before you get to the boss, otherwise you're going to lose stacks. But if you notice a certain spell works really well in an act, then by all means use it. I've switched spells so many times before, just trying to find certain things that work better in certain situations. So never hurts to play around with stuff as long as you're not losing your stacks.
Yep. Alright, so this run, let's see, how many yellows did I get this run? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got 6 yellows, and that is with 201% MF with the 5 stacks.
Got
so,
7.
I'm sorry, what?
I got 7.
You got 7?
Yep.
Well, last time people were pretty upset that I didn't show the yellows, so this time we're gonna do it. Drum roll, please.
Nope.
So we got these gloves, which are pretty meh. I don't know if these would actually sell. We got this belt right here. It's an MF belt, but it doesn't have vitality. It doesn't really have good defense. May or may not sell. Two-handed axe. Two-handers don't really sell since the only people that use two-handers, such as like barbs and stuff, can't really use two-handers. This might sell for a little bit. It's got int and vitality. Probably not. We have another two-hander. Int strength. Yeah, I wouldn't probably sell that either. Fist weapon. This is a decent fist weapon. Obviously, it's not like the god mode fist weapons you see on the auction house, but for its level, it's pretty decent. It's got vitality, spirit regain, some good stuff. And then we have boots. And the boots are pretty bad. So there you go. Look, full run of yellows and not much good. But you know, you can't let that stuff get to you, really.
There's no way to guarantee you're going to get good items. There's only ways to guarantee you will get items, and that's what this run does. For instance, I got this, which is pretty decent, and I got these.
Oh wow, yeah, that's
decent.
a nice shield.
And
minus
I got
the random wizard stat for
this,
no reason.
which is pretty decent. So, out of my stuff, I've probably got 2 or 3 items now. They're not perfect. I mean, that shield doesn't have any dex or strength, so it might not be, the best shield. But 13% life is that's almost like 9k life for me. So that's a big chunk, and then 63 all resist is really nice. The tunic has 3 slots, so I mean, even though the vitality or dex necessarily isn't as high as some of the ones you see on the